Hey everybody, Frank Chen here with REIClub.com, the only site you'll need as a real estate investor. Today's quick video, we're going to be talking about the process of qualifying or pre-qualifying your tenants for your rental properties. Now, like in all my videos, I actually include everything that I talk about in the description below. So simply right now, go ahead and click the Show More button, and you can follow right alongside me. Okay, let's go ahead and get started though. The first thing we're going to talk about is the rental application. Now, this is the form you're going to hand them when they come visit your property, okay? And this is pretty much to gather basic information and contact info. But you do want to put a little bit more emphasis on the references area. It's very important that they put down the contact info for their previous landlord. It's important so you can do some rental history verification a little bit later, which we're going to be talking about. Now, some of these applications have questionnaires to help you identify, if your tenant's a smoker, do they have any pets, how long will they plan on staying at this property for. This will help you eliminate tenants in case you don't want a smoker or a pet owner, okay? Now, after they filled out the entire application, this is where you bring in the credit check and the background check authorization forms. Usually what I do is usually slide it to them. It's like, this is probably one of the more important parts of the application process. These forms allow us to do a credit check and a background check. We collect $20 to do so. Are you interested for us to do this? Once again, this is an important part of the application process. They're gonna be like, yeah, sure. We take cash or check, and that's that. Now, if this is a person who's very interested, be sure that they bring in a paycheck stub or a tax return if they're self-employed, and that way you can verify their income. And then, of course, you want to make sure you check their driver's license so you can match it with their application, so you can see, to make sure they are who they say they are, okay? And of course, guys, needs to say, make sure everything is legible so you don't have to call them or follow up just to say, hey, I can't read this. That eliminates a bit of that hassle, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is after they fill out the application form, you have the authorization to do the background checks, you're going to go home and do your due diligence, your credit and your background checks, okay? Now, the credit checks are going to help you identify the tenant's previous rental, background, history. You can help find contacts that way. You can also identify their payment history on certain bills to see if are they generally on time or late, which is very important for us landlords. Also, you kind of see what debts they have, credit card, car payments, jewelry, and because these all do affect the way the tenant's ability to afford the rent. You also want to see if they have bankruptcies in their name and if it's been discharged versus pending. I personally don't deal with bankruptcies. I don't care. There's tons of tenants out there who don't have a bankruptcy that I can work with, okay? But you do want to look for those. Also, we want to see if they have any judgments and liens against their name because they can be pretty high ticket and it will affect your decision, okay? Another thing you want to do is the employment. You want to ask them for their employment history, so who to contact to see if they actually do work there. You also want to do a criminal background check, just so it's kind of like a peace of mind. You know who you're renting to and kind of know what kind of company they surround themselves with, especially if they have a criminal background, okay? Now, people always ask me all the time, how important is the credit score? To me, it depends. If they have a 650 or better, that's not bad. Anything less than that raises a red flag and requires further investigation. All you got to do is simply call them up and say, hey, we did a credit check. We noticed that your credit score is around 500, 550. What happened? Let them explain their situation, because if they are trying to repair that, maybe that, then they're potentially still in the running. But if they're not doing anything, it's getting worse, then of course that'll help you make a decision. Now, there are cool websites out there that help you do all of these things. One of the really cool ones is called a National Tenant Network. You can look it on Google, and they pretty much have tools for landlords and renters, okay? You can also go to annualcreditreport.com, freecreditreport.com. I include these links in the description below for you to reference to, okay? Now, of course, the very last step after you've gathered all the information, you've done your background checks, you want to verify their employment and rental history, okay? And this will help you identify certain behaviors and patterns and really kind of help you anticipate future situations that may occur, okay? So it's important that you call the landlords and the employers. It's pretty much just like a cold call. You want to build rapport and kind of ease them into the harder questions or the bigger questions. Kind of give you an example. I'll call a landlord, hi, my name is so-and-so. This person put you down as a reference, and they're interested in renting one of my properties. I was curious to see how they were as tenants for you, and would you recommend them to me? Just like that, let them do all the talking, get the information you want, and work off that convo. Calling employers, slightly different. Hi, my name is this. You were put down as a reference. I was just wondering, if they do work for you, and how are they as an employee? And that will allow you to see if they are their job stability. Okay. Now, understand, guys, that the pre-approval process of qualifying tenants is pretty much the determining factor between ending up with a good tenant or a bad tenant. So your real estate is an expensive investment, so definitely treat it that way. You know, it's very important that you are very diligent and cover all your bases when you qualify your tenants. Now, if you're one of those people who have a hard time remembering everything like I am, you know, make a checklist of everything that you need so you make sure that you gather all your information in one sitting. That way you don't have to like, go back and forth, which is a waste of time, okay? Now again, guys, this is Frank Chen with REIClub.com. I hope this video gave you a better sense of how to qualify or pre-qualify a tenant. Do me a favor, leave comments below about what you thought about the video. Click the like button because it really does help us out. But more importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can keep you informed when brand new videos are posted every week. As usual, guys, thank you so much for your time and continued support. We look forward to talking to you next week. Take care, good investing, and bye-bye.